Hello, my name is Alicia Shapiro with AInews.com, and welcome to another episode of our Driving Tomorrow Conversations with Industry Leaders, where we explore the latest developments and newest innovations in the world of artificial intelligence. Today, I'm excited to be speaking with Kishore Nepali, Managing Director of Emerging Technologies at Kaizen Analytix. With a PhD in machine learning and a career spanning enterprise AI applications, generative AI, and advanced analytics, Kishore leads Kaizen's AI R&D and innovation strategy. He has published extensively in the field, applying deep learning, image analytics, and sequence modeling to real-world business challenges. Kaizen Analytix is a leading provider of AI data analytics and technology service and recognized by Gartner, NPR, Forbes, Entrepreneur, and Inc. 5000 as one of the America's fastest growing private companies. Headquartered in Atlanta with offices across the U.S. and a global offshore team, Kaizen partners with enterprises across 23 industries, delivering more than $1.2 billion in profit uplift and nearly $600 million in cost savings through its data-driven solutions. At AI4 2025, Kaizen unveiled its Agentic AI platform, purpose-built to help organizations accelerate from insights to autonomous action across pricing, anomaly detection, and unstructured data intelligence. In today's conversation, we'll explore how Agentic AI is reshaping analytics consulting, what it means for enterprise decision-making, and where human expertise and AI agents can best work together to drive outcomes. So thank you for joining us today, Kishore.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And it's a great intro. So there's a lot going on there. But yeah, happy to be here. And I'm very excited about this interview. And I wanted to share a lot of cool stuff that we are doing.
Oh, yeah, I'm excited to have you here too. Let's start with the big picture. Like I mentioned, Kaizen launched its agentic AI solutions at AI4, so congratulations on that.
Thank
And to
you.
start us off, can you share a little bit about what Kaizen does and what this launch represents in terms of the shift from analytics that simply predicts outcomes to AI that can actually take action on those insights?
Sure. I'll start simple. Kaizen, we are a leading provider in AI, advanced analytics, and technology services solutions. What we do is we empower organizations to unlock significant value from their data by leveraging AI and advanced analytics. So, as you mentioned, yeah, we were there at A4 conference this year that happened in August, and it was one of the greatest opportunities for us to showcase our latest and the greatest work that we are doing in agentic AI. So, I would call this agentic AI solutions are like a pivotal evolution where it is shifting from merely describing like what has happened in the data to equipping the team with the AI systems that are capable of autonomously extracting the required insights in an accelerated manner. So in short, like that's what this agentic AI solutions that we have demoed at AI4 conference. So in that conference, we debuted three agentic AI solutions, basically the agents. So one is the pricing agent, the other one is the anomaly detection agent, and then the unstructured data agent. So three of these are like three different aspects, but like the common thing is the agentic AI in all of those. Even if the underlying tasks that each of these agents that are doing it's different, but the agentic component is the core in it. So maybe I'll talk about like one of the agents where we have this pricing agent which is capable of dynamically recommending the optimal price by looking at the data that we provided to the agent. So this will enable to get the faster recommendations than a person sitting and watching the data to identify this. So that's the cool thing about this agentic AI. So you can configure it to do anything that you want ethically and securely. So that's where it is heading in our Kaizen journey, agentic AI journey. And then basically what we are doing is like we are synergizing the generative AI capabilities with the existing data and model operational frameworks. And then we are empowering the organizations to fully harness the power of generative AI to accelerate from insight to the action in a very faster manner, and at the same time scaling with AI confidently and securely.
Yeah. That's a nice leap from just understanding your analytical data to now having AI to take actions on that. That's exciting. I think it's a great time to be in business, actually.
Oh, yeah.
And building on that, as agentic AI systems evolve and operate more independently, how do you see this changing the role of analytics consulting? Maybe not just in terms of generating insights, but in automating decisions and execution. And also at the same time, how should organizations be rethinking their data strategy and operation models to ensure that AI agents are both effective and aligned with the business goals?
Okay, that's a very good question, because a lot of people think that, yeah, agentic AI is out here. What should we
Hmm.
do with that?
Yeah.
And then to specifically answer your question, so how does that change the
Yeah.
role of analytics consulting? If you think of there is an analytics team, and then if they are using agentic AI, it basically changes everything, or fundamentally changes everything for them, meaning it's moving towards like merely generating the insights to automating the decision making in a way where they can easily get to the decision in an accelerated manner. So traditionally, or historically, what they used to do is, in order to get the insights, they need to spend several days to understand what the data is talking, what's the
Right.
story behind it, and then they come to the decision making activity, right? But now, if with this agentic AI, if we configure that rightly, and if we design that agent rightly, it could get to the insights faster, like maybe in a minute. And then you can assess those insights and make the decision. Like, it's reducing the span from days to minutes, or maybe an hour
Yeah.
in worst case. So that's how. So when I said it fundamentally changes the role in every aspect, especially from the insights generation standpoint, then you can ask the question, hey, what do they do with the time that's saved by this agentic AI? Yeah, so they can spend that time on maybe designing their approach, or maybe implementing and overseeing these agents performing, right? Are they giving us the right insights or not? It's basically like validating those insights, right? And it's basically shifting to ensure these agents are effective enough, and then as well as if they are in the ethical and security guardrails are being correctly followed or not, right? So that's what how I see this shift in this analytical consulting looks like. It's not limited to analytics consulting itself, Alicia. I would say agentic AI and generative has a lot more potential in other domains as well, in software engineering as well. If you want to develop a web page, it might take a couple of days, but with this, you can easily develop it in half an hour, right? They are that capable. So that's about the how it is changing the role in the analytics consulting.
Yeah.
So the other part of the question is like data strategy. So that's a very crucial thing that every organization should be paying attention to, especially when they are willing to get the generative AI and the agentic AI capabilities into this organization. Any organization, the data foundation is a paramount, right? Everybody wants data is the power
Yeah.
that's fueling every organization from a strategic standpoint, or call it financial or revenue. Definitely, there are a lot of things that I can speak about it, but maybe I talk two key aspects of it. Like, one is the data readiness. LLMs are a different creed of algorithms that looks at the data in a different way than the traditional algorithms. So you need to make sure that you have a robust data governance in order to make this data ready and available to this agentic system. And at the same time, like, data quality is always a crucial factor in any technology implementations. So data readiness is one. And then the other one is the data transformation and representation. So agentic AI will shine when you have this metadata. So you have a customer data or maybe sales table in your database. If you can't define like what the table is in the sales table, you need to have all the definitions for that. So basically, in short, metadata for all of your data lying in your data warehouse is very crucial for the agentic AI to act on it. You need to understand what it is first.
Yeah.
So metadata management is a key aspect. To me, this will be a very heavy lift for a lot of organizations
Yeah.
that did not have this metadata management properly managed. So they need to revamp all of the existing data to put up this metadata for those tables and then really harness the power of agentic AI. So from a data strategy standpoint, like I would say these two, and then there is a hidden treasure that is lying in every company, which is unstructured data. So LLMs or the generative AI is exceptionally good at reading the unstructured data like documents, all the text-based documents or files that are sitting in your organization, but nobody cares, or maybe there was no tool or technology that is capable or as good as these LLMs and generative AI tools. But now with this advancement, the AI, now a lot of organizations can tap into that hidden treasure of that unstructured data. So data strategy, and then you wanted to talk about the operating model adjustments as well. Definitely, this will open up a new creed of teams in any organization. If they're investing a lot into this, there will be definitely additional layer to do LLM ops or maybe maintaining agents or agentic factory, and then having governance around human in the loop. You might have seen like a lot of popular chat-based applications, like they have this small note underneath that it is AI generated text. Please review it. There is still that notion of you may need to have a human in the loop to make sure what it is producing is up to the mark and it makes sense. And then the other aspect is the security and ethical considerations that you need to pay focus, and they are always a paramount for any organization. This opens up like to new teams that are capable of taking care of security with respect to these LLM world. The infrastructure aspect is also like entirely different. You require GPUs, right? You require entirely a different set of bare metal to run all of this. So even from the infrastructure standpoint, there will be a lot of additions, and then you need teams for that to manage as well.
I think you hit on something that I haven't heard about a lot of people talking, and that's the metadata management. I've heard you need quality data and you need to get your data structured and prepared, but I never heard anybody say that you also need that metadata management. And it makes so much sense because that would give the context for the agents to be able to make their decisions and take actions. So I think that's so smart. I haven't heard anybody talk about that yet.
Exactly. You said it. So the context is the key in these LLMs. When you want to create an agent which can specifically tap into your structured data, like your database tables, providing just the tabular data doesn't make sense to that. It thinks of like it's a column, it's a value. But if you are querying it with a natural language, then there is a latent semantic meaning in that query, which it needs to map to those columns. It cannot do it if you don't provide that metadata. If you don't have it, yeah, they still perform and then they still try to get the insights, but it may not understand your question, or it may not identify the right columns to produce whatever the insight that you are asking for.
That's so important. Can you share a real world example of how agentic AI could make a dramatic difference, maybe in pricing optimization or customer engagement or even the supply chain resilience?
I'll talk to one of the recent work that we are doing, and definitely there is a lot of potential. Like the concept that we are working on right now, it's really powerful that you can embed that framework into any job role in your organization. So the concept is it's basically like a workflow acceleration. If you consider workflow as sequence of steps that you do to perform an activity in your job, right? That's a basic definition of a workflow. So talking about this workflow accelerator framework or the agentic AI framework that we are employing it on one of our automotive client. Let's say, for example, I am a design engineer in that automotive parts manufacturer. So as a design engineer, I may have 5 or 6 activities that I do in my job, right? You can consider each activity as a workflow. And then the specific use case that we are dealing with is basically, as a design engineer, okay, my boss wants me to look at the incoming orders to manufacture something, and I need to look at those orders, and then I need to see whether my company can manufacture that part or not. So that's basically a requirement traceability matrix. So you look at the incoming order, look at the requirements, maybe the parts, images, or CAD drawings. Okay, I need to go through all that data and figure out, hey, can we make this part? Or okay, so that's it. It could end up in taking anywhere between 7 to 10 days, let's say. So workflow accelerators in picture. What you can do is basically you can configure an agent which can do all these 5 or 6 steps that I would do as a design engineer to come up with that compliance matrix, requirements traceability matrix. So we are doing that in a way that the agent can take the part drawing and then compare it with the existing database drawings. This is the close match. And even in this close match, there are like 5 subparts in it that are exact matches, and then there are 3 subparts that requires modification. For example, the incoming order may say we needed to cast it with aluminum, but we have done it with maybe iron or steel. So it can also do that. So we configured it in such a way that it can go deep into that. Hey, in order to generate the compliance matrix, I need to give him like what is the exact match, what are the modifications that are required, or maybe the requirement is not at all in there in any of our parts. So that is the real power, right? If I upload an image, it can get me the result in 5-10 seconds.
Yeah.
So you are reducing that 7 days or 7 to 10 days to 5 to 10 seconds, right? And then on top of it, like maybe a couple of days, the actual validation that as a design engineer, I need to make sure, okay, whatever the AI produces, it has given me this compliance matrix. Okay, I'll just go and validate, check the parts, like whatever the modifications that it is asking me to do, I'll just check that. Like it's basic validation that I need to do. I don't need to spend like days just to figure out like what's different between this, or skimming through all the requirements that they passed and then mapping it with our requirements in the company and then coming up with that report is a labor and intensive task. I really love this use case that we are building, but because you can see like a drastic amount of time reduction in this use case.
That's a huge time saver for sure, to be able to shorten it from 5 to 7 days to minutes or seconds. So that's huge. And from your perspective, what sets the organizations apart who are maybe leading the way with agentic AI from those who are maybe slower adopters?
I would say there will be both types of organizations. So strategically, any organization, like they should start small and then get to the quick wins. And if you look out the window, there are like millions things that are conjuring in the environment. Everybody is saying, I developed this, I developed that. It's really going very fast from a breakthrough standpoint of new tools or new platforms that are being developed. So there is a lot going on in the market and in this space, generative AI space especially. Leaders versus slow adapters, definitely who wants to be in the leaders, like they just take the action and then they start somewhere and then they will have the use cases that are the quick wins, which could basically show the value of using those. And then it's basically like building it from inside to outside. Like you develop small bits and pieces and then you create a framework out of it. Okay, now I know how to use this. Okay, now I need to expand it to the multiple teams or multiple departments, right? Like how do I do it? So as you go through this journey, you need to develop the use cases, at the same time extract the framework, how you developed it, and then how you scale it across your organization. So I would start small and then grow big from there as you go through.
That's good advice. And looking ahead, what do you see as the next stage of adoption for agentic AI? And how do you imagine the way businesses will operate and evolve? Will they be collaborating with other agents? And what role will humans play alongside them?
Okay. We are already building agents which are like passing the context from one agent to another already, but they are sitting in the same system. To your point, if there are two different systems, would the agents talk to each other? Yes, definitely. There is a possibility to do that. But from an agentic AI standpoint and enabling the integration between the agents, you might heard of this word or acronym called Model Context Protocol. It's a open source standard that they came up a few months ago to make the communication between these AI systems or the system that is using this AI to communicate effectively and securely. So with that concept, it's opening up a lot of tools that can basically fast track anything that you want. For example, if you are a web developer or web engineer, your role is to create web applications. And then, for example, there is a MCP server for a UI front-end library. Now, as a web developer, you can ask your AI to connect with that MCP server, and then you just type in, hey, I wanted this beautiful page and I wanted a menu bar. Yeah, I wanted this left navigation band. And then you just type that in, and then it goes and it picks the right things that you need to have in your code, and it just put it there and then make it executable. So that MCP concept is pretty powerful. And then I estimate that will be the biggest leap in terms of like how we integrate different systems from this AI perspective or generative AI or agentic AI perspective. So that's a very big leap there that will happen. But yeah, definitely agent can talk to another agent.
That's awesome. Do you think humans and AI will be collaborating, or will most of the humans need to find different jobs? Like a lot of people are afraid AI is going to take their job. What do you think about that?
I don't think AI will replace the jobs. Definitely, there will be a different type of job role in a sense that like you are capable of telling the AI what to do. So definitely there will be a little bit of a shift, but I don't think we are yet there to like completely replace
Yeah.
the jobs. But yeah, the perception should be different. If there is a tool that can do the job better, you progress or go above that level. So yeah, it's basically all the perception that's different. I don't think there will be any harm in terms of jobs.
That's good. I'm sure that's going to help put a lot of people at ease. It makes sense because right now, at least, the AI still needs the humans to, like you said, tell it what to do. It can't act totally independent. It needs some direction, some context, like you said. So, yeah, it makes sense that they'll be working together in the future. And before I wrap up, I always love to ask, when you do step away from your work, what are some hobbies or activities that you're passionate about?
One is I like drums a lot, but
Oh,
yeah, but I'm not a professional, or maybe I didn't take any class, but naturally I like to
oh,
do
that's
percussion.
fun.
So I chose to play on cajon. I don't know if you have heard of that. It's a beatbox where you sit on top of it and play it.
Oh,
It's
okay.
called cajon. And then the other hobby that I picked up recently is like reading ancient science
Oh,
and spiritual books. It's been going very well on that
hmm.
aspect again. And it's yeah, I'm pursuing to see what exactly this consciousness is.
Oh, wow. That is exciting. I think that is interesting as well. And I played the flute, not professionally either, but I grew up playing the flute and I still enjoy playing it from time to time. Yeah, that's cool
Okay.
that you like music as well. That's awesome. Thank you, Kishore, for sharing your insights on how agentic AI is transforming enterprise decision making and what organizations should prioritize as these systems become independent. I know for many companies, the moving from the data insights to the real-time action can be overwhelming, but I really appreciate you coming on and showing us how Kaizen is building a secure and scalable way forward. So thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Alicia, and I appreciate for this opportunity. And it's really nice talking to you.
And for
So,
those who would like to learn more about Kaizen Analytix, you can visit their website, kaizenanalytics.com. Keeping you connected to tomorrow. Today, this is Alicia with AInews.com.